Good morning, you guys. Happy Thursday. So I am so glad that you are here. It is cold today, although it's finally kind of starting to feel a little bit warmer, and I am so ready for it. I don't know about you, but all of a sudden this week, I'm like over winter. I'm just done. So today I am going to make some spicy deviled eggs. So you have all made deviled eggs, and you probably brought them to a party or a potluck or something like that. And in Minnesota, we got potlucks everywhere. So deviled eggs is common. But we're going to just jazz it up a little bit and make a spicy version that has a little crouton on top. And I'm going to show you a very fast way to make homemade croutons. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about something cool that happened this week with my son. But first, let's get started. So make sure you say hi. Make sure you tell me where you're at and how warm it is. And when the last time is that you had deviled eggs. In fact, I'm going to type that right now in the comments and ask, when is the last time you had deviled eggs? I would love to know the question. When's the last time you had deviled eggs? All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to very quickly make a batch of homemade croutons. I don't buy croutons. I make them myself because inevitably we have leftover bread around here. So I'm just going to take some leftover bread and I'm going to cut it real quick. Nothing special. We're just going to cut it up real quick, and then we're going to actually use the broiler because it'll make it go faster, and it does the job. So in like 3 minutes, I will have homemade croutons. So I'm going to just cut this up real quick. There we go. Little chunks here. I want them to be fairly large because we're going to put them on top of our deviled eggs, and I want them to like have a little bit of oomph to them, you know. So there we go. And then we're going to grab a Ziploc bag, like so. And we're going to take out the ones that we like. Some of this crumbled up a little bit into crumbs, and I don't want all that. I just want the good pieces. So I'm just going to grab some of these, throw them in like so. It depends on how many you want. I'm just going to make a few right now so I don't take up you guys' time too much. So we're just going to make a few like this. All right, and then you're just going to throw in some olive oil, a little bit of olive oil, and give that a good shake. Not too much of a shake, or we're going to end up with more crumbs, and we don't want more crumbs. All right, and then we're going to throw in a little bit of chili powder, because these are going to go on top of our deviled eggs, and so we want to give them a little bit of oomph and a little bit of spice. So we're going to throw them on top of throw some of that on top of our bread. And then all we're going to do is take a cookie sheet. And we're going to put this right on our cookie sheet, and we're going to throw it in the oven. And I have it on broil at 525. And it's going to take all of a couple minutes to get this nice and crunchy, and that's all we need it to be. So that's a very quick way of making croutons. So this is going in the oven. I gotta keep an eye on that because I will burn that so fast. All right, so I actually did my eggs ahead of time, took the peels off because I still have yet to find a great way to peel eggs, and I did not want to embarrass myself in front of you guys. So I already have these peeled and cut, and then I have the yolk inside of a bowl. And it's very simple. So traditional deviled eggs, you're gonna mash this up, and you're going to throw in some mayonnaise. But we're going to make it just a little bit healthier and a little bit more fancy today. So I'm going to mash this up, and instead of using mayonnaise, we're going to use a little bit of Greek yogurt. Because Greek yogurt gives it, it's healthier for one thing, but it also gives it a nice little zing. That is just what we need for a spicy deviled egg. So we're going to get that a little bit better mashed. All right, and then I'm going to throw in, it's going to be about 1/4 of a cup. I'm not really measuring, but it's about 1/4 of a cup. Throw that in there. And then the good part. You want some horseradish. I mean, how many people put horseradish in their deviled eggs, right? Horseradish. And you want a good scoop of it. That's what's going to give it that zing and a little bit of spice. And then we're going to take a little bit of deli mustard. We're going to use the brown Dijon because we want to help with the color, but we don't want to take away from that spice. So we're going to actually give it a little bit more of a kick with the Dijon mustard. So we're going to give it just like, you know, like a tablespoon or so. A little bit of salt, not too much because we already have salt in the mustard. And then what is kind of interesting is we're going to put a little bit of vinegar in here. I like to use balsamic because it adds just a wee bit of sweetness. You want just a touch of vinegar in here. Okay, that's all for the inside. Super easy, right? So we have Greek yogurt, horseradish, Dijon, and a little bit of vinegar, and we're going to give that a good mix while we wait for the croutons. So I don't know how many of you guys know I have my kids just had their birthday, and I have a 20-year-old and a 15-year-old. And my 15-year-old just yesterday went and got his driver's permit. And I'm like, he didn't drive home because we live in the city-ish, and he didn't feel comfortable driving home, thank goodness. I don't know what I would have done. But it's kind of strange. I mean, my baby's driving, you guys. All right. So there we go. That's all mixed up. Now this is a little bit less than the yellow, perfect yellow that you see with normal deviled eggs. But that's okay because we're going to put a little chili powder on it. So, all right. So all we're going to do is we're going to take our little mixture. You know what? I want to taste this first. Mmm. You guys, that's delicious. Has a little bit of spice to it. In fact, I could almost use a little bit more horseradish. Taste it and see what your family likes. So you're just going to refill these guys back up. I'm not the prettiest at this, so I'm not going to be the most pretty. If I were going to make this for a party, I would probably get a piping bag and pipe them in there so that it would be pretty. But you guys don't really care, do you? So I would love to know how many of you guys have drivers in the house. Do you have any tips for me? Any like ways that you like staying in that first year of them learning? With our first daughter, we were in the country, so it wasn't really that big a deal because our first daughter, our only daughter, our firstborn, but we were in the country, so it didn't really feel like it was like as dangerous to have a new driver. Now it's like he can't even go anywhere without there being like a stoplight or a stop sign or something. So it's kind of, I don't know, it feels a little, it feels different this time around. Not sure how I feel about it either. All right, so these are almost filled up. Let's go check on those croutons. How they're doing? Ah, you guys. This is why you should keep an eye on them. I totally burned them, you guys. Totally did it. Live TV, guys, live TV. All right, so in a perfect world, I had watched these more carefully. They were perfectly done. They weren't burned. That's what's going to happen in a perfect world. That I was chatting with you guys. So, chili powder. You're going to take chili powder, put it over the top of your eggs, and take your perfectly toasted, not burned crouton. Here's one that doesn't look too burned, a little bit dark, and set those on top. And it is as simple as that, you guys. And you're going to have these cute little spicy deviled eggs to use up all of those eggs you're going to get over Easter and look cute when you go to parties. Now you don't have to bring the traditional ones. You can bring something a little more fancy, right? All right. So that's what you have. I'm going to sit here and eat my breakfast because I haven't eaten breakfast yet. I will see you guys next week. And remember, I want to hear about when's the last time you had deviled eggs and any tips you have about teenagers and their first year of driving in the city particularly. All right? Peace out, you guys. Have a great Thursday.